Morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Morning, good afternoon. It depends where you are based from. Welcome to another live stream. Today, again on Saturdays, it's the weekly analysis. So it's to take a look at maybe what happened last week and preparation for the week ahead. So we are going to I'm going to go through the charts, see maybe important zones that we may look for, maybe what happened, what some engulfs or breakouts that we may see, some spaces in the market that price may wants to fill. Comparing with last week, we had the finally euro breaking the lows from 2017-16. So that was a big the big kind of event. It's not an event, but what the major price action that we had from comparing with last week. So we finally broke those lows, and is euro now at the point where it's about to start going long or not, right? That's one of the questions maybe for this live stream. We are going to take a look as well at dollar index. Where is dollar index reacting to? It also yesterday it actually reacted from a zone that I've been talking about for the last few weeks. So let's see. Maybe we are about to have some kind of a reversal in the FX market, dollar and euro. Maybe in the last 2 weeks, basically, euro has been going in a bearish market, completely falling, not just euro dollar, but basically all the euro pairs. For example, euro Aussie as well, going all the way down since the beginning of July. Euro yen as well, coming all the way down since the beginning of July as well. Even euro pound as well, coming all the way down again since the beginning of July. So yeah, so for the last basically 9 days, we have almost all the euro pairs moving to the downside, and euro dollar. As a consequence, we finally broke those lows. So guys, if you are watching it live, feel free to ask any questions. Main goal is to share opinions, to discuss some levels, and maybe to help each other finding or fine-tuning some key zones to look for opportunities for the week ahead. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do it. So yeah, this is educational and educational content that I'm sharing, and today is more of analyzing maybe key zones to pay attention to for the week ahead. So let's go and let's start with the dollar index. Usually that's the one I like to start with, and it gives me a broader view of maybe where the major FX pairs are, and then we'll go through all the rest of the FX pairs. Maybe cover some indices as well, and in the end I will always cover a little bit of the crypto. So the main ones, I'll take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you actually have been following the webinar, the live streams for the last few weeks, for example, one of the questions from last week in terms of Ethereum and crypto and Bitcoin, sorry, it was actually, was that high an engulf or not? The break of the highs from the previous week. So was that an engulf or not? I give you my outlook and my opinion. So this is what I meant. So was this guy in here an engulf to the upside or not? Or if this was a target that has been reached, then price will carry on to the downside. So yeah, for me, you can go back and watch it, but for me this was actually an engulf to the upside. We could have seen that on the daily time frame, right? We actually broke those highs in there. So for me that was actually an engulf, and because I actually saw that there was still orders in here underneath, so that was a good zone to look for longs, because this for me was actually an engulf to the upside. And if you look at Bitcoin, it was in a different stage. The Bitcoin had also made an engulf to the upside, even though it didn't broke. The difference was Bitcoin didn't really reach its target, so it didn't really reach to this point with this high. It just broke this important level in there. If you even look on the lower time frames, we see the level that I mentioned. So we had this demand in here. Second, we had this demand in this supply in here, that the price has been respected, but it was broken just by this high in here. So this was actually an engulf to the upside, and price never reached its target. That's why I was looking for longs, or expecting price to go long after this retrace to the downside. And actually that target has actually been reached a few days ago in there. Now price will need to make a decision. Is either going to respect it or break it? We'll see. We'll talk about that in a bit. So dollar index, where are we in the dollar index, right? So we moved to the upside comparing with last week. There you go. Last week we were, go to the 4-hour time frame. So we are taking the last orders from this left shoulder in here, and price was somewhere in here. That's where we closed last week. We woke up and price ranged a little bit. It didn't move that much. It was the it was the 4th of July, so bank holiday in the US. However, the day after, that's when it had this big move to the upside. And there you go. Price breaking highs. This is when euro dollar broke the lows and price just shoot to the moon. We start going higher, and now with this one in here, we finally broke or reacted from a zone that I've been looking at. So price at the moment yesterday, just before the NFP, it reacted from the 107.789. And if you go to the daily time frame, if you go back to 2002, because this is where price is reacting to, this was one of the key levels on the higher time frame that I was looking for. Still that level above at around 110 that I'm still keeping an eye on it, and I think price eventually is going to get there. However, this zone where price is reacting now, it may be a good level to see price. Welcome to the live stream, and good morning. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so this was the key level in here. So basically, yeah, we are back in 2002, as you can see, and I mentioned that I wanted to see this double top in here, these highs being taken. This was a key zone that I wanted to see being taken before any reversal. Price spent maybe Tuesday, and from Tuesday to Friday, it spent within this level. However, we had that big spike, that big move to the upside yesterday morning, and price finally took these two highs in here, this double top is expected, and price just reacted now from this fresh zone, which was inside here. I actually had drawn inside here. This is kind of the extreme, but the base of it is this level. So this is the zone that price could also react from. It could go a little bit more to the extreme, but in here it's already a valid zone. That's exactly where I was looking for price to react from. And from here, there's a possible scenario that you may have a reversal and a long-term, not long-term, but medium-term reversal. Maybe for a few weeks, you're going to maybe see that this is the higher high for the moment. Eventually, in the future, I'm still looking for price to even break this guy in here, this high, and even go a little bit above and get maybe closer to this 110 level that I mentioned, that I've been talking about as well. So this is one of the other zones that I'll be looking at. So even if you look at this level on the weekly, this is how it looks like. as you guys can see, there was kind of some space within this this high in here, between this high in here and the next zone, and that's exactly where price reacted from right now. And then the next one, let's see when price gets there. But for now, nice reaction, and we saw that during the NFP, price went down actually, and then retested that high, and they managed to now move to the downside. Right, this starts to be a really nice type of price action in around here that you may see price be about to have maybe a big reversal from here. And there's maybe still some orders close a little bit to the highs. Let me just check on 4 hour. So this zone in here, we have price nice reaction in there. There's maybe a possibility that there was still some orders a little bit within this rectangle, this zone. Maybe actually like where price reacted from here. Yeah, I had this one, KM is inside here. After that, we have these orders in there. There's maybe the scenario that price can still fake out a little bit this guy and go down. But where price did, where price reacted from right now during NFP, it's a good zone. So what can we see from here? Where can we look for? We did head out this kind of bullish trend line. I may deleted it. Okay, I'll just keep it there for now, but I don't really pay attention to it. A good zone may be retesting maybe this level. Would be kind of a first target. Of course, we still need to break these walls first, but this can be a good zone to look for maybe a target from the from these guys. Honestly, I'm expecting Monday morning, the Monday session, to be kind of a bearish move. So kind of for the dollar index to carry on moving down after this turn in here. You may have some orders now around this area. So maybe even price, maybe not on Monday, but somewhere around the middle of the week, price can go there and carry on to the downside. I could see that happening, especially if you do break this low. I think that's the scenario that you can see. Maybe price going to do this during the Monday. Eventually it's going to reverse, then maybe react from here on this area and get into the downside, and at least feel this price in here, even go further down. We have this demand zone in there, or even further down, and we have still this price in here as well. So let's see, we're going to be playing adjusting to what price, what information price will give us. As long as it starts and keep breaking now lows, that's going to be opening doors that price wants to feel more space to the downside. But that's what I'll be paying attention to. Yes, there's still maybe this zone at 108 at price. It was that extreme that we saw just before on the daily time frame that price may wants to still go to. But for now, I think I'll be happy, especially if we kind of break this zone in here. Will be happy to even look for sales still within this within this high here, below this high. So this can be definitely a scenario that we may see. Monday, price will go down. Maybe around Tuesday, something like that. There's going to be a retrace to the upside, and then just to reverse again, and maybe close the week somewhere in here. Retesting these guys, or even go a little bit farther below and coming somewhere maybe close to this level. That's an option. We do have, yeah, we had this break in here. If we even check like that, do the thingy, all this starts being compressed. Where are the demands? Where are the orders still fresh on the way up? Maybe we have somewhere in here. Maybe we have something in here. Maybe I have something in there. We may have still something in here, but this one could be broken easily. So yeah, eventually even get all the way down to here. Let's take a look at the daily just to see if we have any more better perspective. Daily time frame, what do we get from here? Maybe something in here, something in here. Yeah, the test of these previous highs in here can be one zone. So let's see. The break of this low, it's going to be important. The break of this area in here, it's going to be important. And then maybe price can react from there and go down. I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening as a weak candle. Yeah, completely. This is this ready to go all the way down. So when would I like to see price reversing completely? Let's see that happening right now, or would I prefer to see maybe eventually some of this happening, but eventually just for this major move to happen only when you actually react from that 110 level. Yeah, that's maybe what I would prefer. See. Even retesting this previous high in here, 103, 104 can be an interesting zone. We may have all that space to fill from where we are. There is that scenario. So yeah, I'll be looking for sales on dollar index. I may be looking for longs after price may break this level, just expecting the retrace to react from there. Like something that could happen is price react from here, maybe engulf a little bit up, fake out and do this. This could be a good zone to look for a long somewhere in here. And then this automatically will be actually an engulf as well to the downside. And in here, and maybe I'll be looking for sales or even above, a little bit above that. That will be my game plan for now. After that, I'll be reassessing depending on which zones price is reacting to or breaking. I'll be most likely on Tuesday. I'll be updating my view on dollar index. Many advertisements on TradingView. Jesus. Yeah. So that will be kind of my view in here. I think we are in a position to maybe start looking for a good reversal. I do like where price reacted already. So in the past, I was always concerned of looking for big sells because the euro dollar hasn't really broken those lows that I was expecting. But now euro dollar has done it, and euro dollar actually is reacting from a nice level. So the alignment between these two pairs now, it's in a better position to actually look for those bigger reversals. So let's see where price is going to how it's going to move during the summer. If we take a look at the indices as well, so just give me a second. Just drinking some coffee. So S&P and Nasdaq basically behaving the same way. Naturally, after the break of this, kind of expect price reacting from here, and I don't even like where these guys are reacting from. So there's a chance that price actually may want to go a little bit closer to the highs and retest these guys in here around 4,900. No, 4,100, not 900, 4090, something like that. Price managed to respect these lows in here. I just broke this trend line. I can actually delete this. Yeah, S&P, I still had this demand zone in here. That price manages to stay above these highs in here, now creating so many lows. respecting this wall, sorry, now creating all these 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of a strong zone of support that most likely that's going to be taken out in the future. We still have this demand zone in there. Nasdaq actually already reacted from this demand, so all these walls that you can see in here on Nasdaq actually is from this demand zone, and price is going higher from there. Yeah, this is a nice zone, expect some reaction from there. However, we haven't broken any wall from here, so this is actually a nice demand zone that price reacted from. In order to look for the maybe any move to the downside from here, I would like to see some lows being broken and then maybe something like this, but at the moment we haven't had any lows being taken, so there's maybe slowly the continuation to the upside and maybe the retest of this on in here. Jesus, trading view, man. Yeah, what are you expecting during the summer? Maybe you're going to see some range during the summer until September. Maybe that's something that you're going to see. Maybe price just trading within these levels. That can be an option with people going on holidays. Maybe you're going to see that. Actually, during this, I can show it actually. If we take a look at, it's not this one. Which one did I use? Okay, maybe not this one. This one. If you actually take a look at how price behaved back in 2007, 8, and 2000, when you had the last kind of bearish markets, we are going to see that we had big sell-offs in September when you were in this bearish market. We may have a slowdown in the market, but then in September, for example, in here, and you see how this move to the downside, this strong move to the downside here. This was September, August, September 2001, as you can see, and this one as well. It was around, yeah, August, September 2008. So as you can see, after summer, after a little bit of a sideways move, there you go. It comes in September, and the big sell-off happened. At least that's how it happened back in 2001 and back in 2008. So let's see if that's something that's going to be seen as well, and that's going to happen this year in September, after people are coming back from holidays and getting ready for the last quarter of the year. Maybe we are going to see something like that happening. Personally, I still believe that we are not at lows. I think there's still more move to the downside in a higher time frame, so that's still my higher time frame view. So I kind of agree a little bit to that aspect. I haven't seen exactly a big sell-off in the indices, even though we are in this kind of bearish market. You can even see, maybe as I mentioned before, on VIX, VIX has been controlled below this 40 key level. If you compare even what the VIX did back in 2008-7, and this was COVID, of course. You can see the big spike almost at 80, 90, 85, and then this was back in 2008, right? How VIX spiked during that moment of scarcity and of sell-off in the market. We haven't seen that during all this bearish market since the beginning of the year. Maximum it was like this 39 level. It has been respected in there. So let's see what's going to happen in that aspect. It's something that I'm keeping an eye on in the higher time frame. And yeah, personally, still don't think this is the world. I think there's still more room to the downside, either on S&P, Nasdaq, and so on. So, yep. There you go. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask. And what is your opinion? What is your opinion about the indices? Are you still bearish? Do you think we are close to reach the bottom and maybe you're going to start going higher from here? Where do you think is your lower low? Where is the bottom? What levels are you guys looking at? Let me know in the comments. Which levels do you guys think it's going to be the bottom on the indices? Nasdaq broke this trend line that I had in here. It just broke it in there, so that can be a good key zone, a good key important aspect. We had a similar scenario in here. We basically, as I mentioned before, price actually respected this demand in here, and while S&P was still above this level, this one was still fresh, so expecting some reaction expecting price to get there, and price start breaking it, and now we had this beautiful demand. This actually is a really nice zone to look for a long in there. It's basically price went up, didn't really touch that zone, then create some space in between, and then just a fast move down to collect those orders and ready to go higher. The same way that for me, this highs in here didn't really react from an important level. I'm still expecting price to go further up on the indices, on Nasdaq. Let's see from where, right? Let's see if it breaks these highs or not, if it respects this base, and then it resumes to the downside, and if you actually have that range market during the summer or not. Let's see what's going to happen in here. So that's my take on the indices. I'm still expecting a little bit more of a move to the upside, similar in S&P, until it gets to this area. Okay, so next let's take a look at let's start with euro dollar. So euro dollar. So where were we, right? So we broke those walls finally. There you go. We broke those walls. So what's next? And where is euro dollar reacting at this point on the left side, right? So let's take a look at where is this wall reacting to, and this wall is reacting to this level. Basically, it's a really nice demand zone that price is reacting from. I think I mentioned before, this is kind of tricky on my weekly chart, because on my weekly I see these 1, 2, 3 lows, which doesn't really seems to be the same on the daily. I don't have all those lows. It's like price had retested this zone 2 more times in here, and that's not really the case. So if I just look at the weekly, I would prefer for price to go a little bit further down and react maybe from this level, somewhere in here, itself actually where it's reacting to. So in that case, I would be expecting a little bit of a move to the downside on euro. Yeah, maybe even to this money in here, and that may still happen, and that will maybe push dollar index a little bit higher. However, this can be also a good zone. The same way that maybe I'm expecting dollar index to get to 110 level, maybe that's when I'm expecting the zone that I would actually like to see is euro dollar coming all the way down and breaking these lows, getting close to this level in here, breaking out these lows. This would mean that euro dollar will be below 1, which I don't really remember. Yeah, last time it happened, it was still into 2002. It's a long time ago. let's see. For sure, the parity of $1 is going to be an important support zone that I don't want. That maybe the institutionals don't want to go below that. We'll see. Technically, I do like. I even see this one as an engulf to downside already. So that for me will be naturally a target for the sales, and I just want to start looking for longs somewhere in here. Let's see. We may have still this demand as well, so I actually like this level. We just draw it something like this. Yep, we just draw it something like that. This guy never really took it, even though this one looks like it was just an open candle. This guy never react from there, so this can be a good zone as well to look for longs. Even maybe align with this right shoulder, maybe a bit above it. Okay. Yeah, but euro dollar is reacting from here at this point, right? And after that, you can see that price is already moving a little bit to the upside. If I take a look at like this euro dollar, and we had all these lows, right? We had a accumulation of lows around this level, which is the higher time frame low from 2016. All this. In terms of looking for price action for a reversal, I like to see left shoulders. Like I like to see lows close by that price can use it and to behave something like this. Right, I want to see this accumulation of lows in here, and at this point I don't know if you have them. Maybe if you consider these ones as such, okay. I don't know if this is actually if they are proper lows that you can use it then as a left shoulder. It can be used as a left shoulder then for price to do this. It's an option. And just even by looking at this, we do have maybe some orders in here, and this is an option for price to do it. So there are a few things that I like. So I like that accumulation of lows, right? I like to see some lows close by before even the reverse. And actually, which I'm not sure if this is the scenario. However, something that I also like is to see a big, strong, in this case, bearish candle, as to create this lower low. And in this case, we do have that, right? We do have this strong bearish candle in here, and that came all the way down really strongly, kind of collect whatever orders there were in there, and just shoot straight through and reverses. So we do have that bearish candle in here. I'm just not sure if these lows are enough for the reversal. Maybe they are. And in this case, maybe there you go, similar to dollar index, we may going to start to see a stronger move to the upside. Maybe key levels in here. Maybe this zone can be an interesting zone initially to see if price holds. However, I think I already see this one as an engulf to the upside. This one, I think this is already kind of an engulf up. Price didn't really react to anything from here, so I'm actually kind of expecting eventually, if price comes all the way here, to actually react a little bit above it and maybe react somewhere from here or from here. And yeah, not sure if this guy here is going to hold price to the downside. So far, this high, I don't think, is it a break? Did it broke? Did it break or not? No, so far this high hasn't broken this other high. Let's see. Let's see in there. Maybe there's still orders somewhere in here as well, and below this zone. I'll take a look a little bit inside here as well to see if there's anything there. But yes, overall, this is a kind of section that I like to see in order to see price reversing. And as I mentioned, I do like to see that strong move down, just as it happened in here. Not sure about the lows though. Not sure about these lows, not sure about this range that I like to see before the reversal. So let me just take a look at the 4 hour. Or what time frame? In the 4 hour. Maybe there. Maybe in here. Maybe something underneath this low. This, yeah, this looks like it's already ending goof up. So maybe price wants to go there next. So this, can these ones be considered as a left shoulder? That's the question. Davy, we will see. We will see. This looks kind of compressed. This is a retest of that previous low. Yeah, this level looks interesting, just even to fake out all these highs in here. So this one in here even looks interesting. I'm going to even delete this one from there. So this looks like a nice zone for price to bounce from. This is kind of the decision point aligned with that low from 2016-17. Yeah, price can easily still take that one there. Compression maybe in there. This one, yeah, this is where price reacted from, so okay. In there, looking at the lows, so yeah, this one was fresh. Price just took it. There's maybe something in here as well. Align with this left folder in there. Yeah, nice zone. Let's see. First, you need to break this size. If you break 3 size, maybe this can be okay. Maybe some reaction from there. Eventually, I do like this level. I'll be paying attention to it. So maybe some scalp in there. This zone in the 4 hour time frame is what is a key level in here. This will be the break of a divey. This is a week of a divey as well. Let's see. Let's see. I'm still not 100% convinced with these lows. I'm not 100% convinced with these lows, and maybe price actually wants to go a little bit farther down. Lower time frame. Yeah, this one was touching there. Just check 1 minute. Second, this demand zone. I don't know if it was taken in there. This one was not taken. A good zone in there. Okay. And it should be a good zone in there. Yep, this one was not taken. Okay. Yep, keep an eye on that one. Yep, I will keep an eye on that one. maybe eventually fake out these lows. Let's see. Let's see. I do like this move, this strong move down, as I mentioned. I do like it. Are these lows enough? That's the question. That's the question, right? Is price going to behave somewhere like this? Take these highs, come down, and behave like this. That's an option. Or even after the break of this one, price will just, even after the break of this guy in here, maybe price will just break it and retest this previous level of structure in here, and it's going to continue to the upside. So let's see euro dollar, if it's going to go higher or not. Maybe this one is actually enough. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Let's move on. For me, it makes sense that it can happen. It can happen, something like that. So let's take a look at it. Yeah. Overall, finally, bigger picture, we finally broke those lows. It was something that I wanted. Now I can start looking for longs, because I was not looking for longs before that. As I mentioned before, anytime price was getting close to these lows, I was just waiting for price to break them. And now I will be actively starting looking for those long setups on euro dollar and sell setups on the dollar index. So there you go. We finally broke it. It was a little bit similar to, I was still aware of that scenario on pound dollar as well. So pound dollar, even though it's kind of reacting already from a good zone, from a good level for me, this was for me kind of a good zone, and we did react from there already, from that low. However, in my mind, I was still looking at euro dollar, knowing that price wanted to go and break those lows. So there was a scenario. There was a scenario that pound dollar would still carry on and going lower until actually euro dollar broke those lows. And that happened, and now here we are. Pound is reacting actually from a good zone on the left side. It's a demand zone in there. And can you see kind of the difference that I was mentioning before in terms of the type of lows that I want to see close by before a reversal? Pound is creating them, right? I prefer this structure in here. It's a clear low. It's not just a small low like on euro, kind of creating kind of these small lows and then a big move down like this. Now pound dollar is actually creating some better structure close by. The lows are more relevant, these ones, until actually you have that that turn, right? This is more of what I like to see, comparing with euro. And in reality, I actually predicted this move in here as soon as I saw this one. So as soon as I saw this break to the upside, because this is again something that I like to see. I like to see first the engulf happening. Right, I like to see first the engulf happening, which is an indication where price wants to go next. And then we do have that fake out of these lows just to collect those orders underneath it. Right, so this is actually what I like to see, and all of a sudden we start creating that Quasimodo pattern that that we talk about, that everyone knows it. And yeah, and all of a sudden we may have this scenario, and this is actually what I predicted. As soon as I saw this engulf to the upside, and then we had that fake out, I start looking for that. I actually got long 2 times in here, one in here, another one in there. At this point, there was still not really, my targets were actually just kind of around this level. Even though we had this break to the upside, there was not really any open for price to get close to here. and the open need to have been now yesterday in here. I didn't catch this move in here. I saw two levels. I saw this level in here and this level in here as possible zones for price to come back to during NFP. And yeah, I didn't go long here, even though there is a perfect price action in here to go long. I actually didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to it in the moment, and I didn't go long in there. But this would have been a long where we would have higher confirmation for a bigger move. When I actually got long in here, it was still just the beginning. It's kind of there are two zones that I like to trade in the while this Quasimodo pattern is being created. The first one is kind of where I entered, which is while the fake out is being created, and the second one with a little bit more confirmation because we actually do break this high in here. It will be at the completion of the Quasimodo pattern, right? At the completion of this right shoulder. This is a setup where you have a different space to be filled because of the break of this high. Most likely you maybe want to fill the next level, which is maybe retest of this zone. That will be the scenario. In here, there's maybe a scenario that you can go from here to here if we actually already broke this structure in between. Otherwise, maybe just even have that kind of trade in there. But yeah, these are the two levels that I like to trade. Pay attention to the possible catch the fake out and then the left shoulder. With the left shoulder having actually higher probability of a bigger move with confirmation of with break of structure before. So yeah, from here I can see pound going higher from now. Even if we pay attention to this level in here, the 4 hour. Second. On the 4 hour in here, for me, this guy didn't really even reach this kind of final target, which could be kind of somewhere in there. So we have this low that broke those lows on the left side. We have a move up that kind of broke some structure and didn't reach its target, and now we have the fake out. So there's maybe the scenario that we may have price going and filling out that space from here. That is the scenario. I could see maybe price from these lows to actually go all the way up and to actually at least reach this level in here, 124, 125. So that'll be what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking kind of for longs. I regret already not even catching this one, but that's my higher time frame view. Of course, first we still have this barrier. First we need to break this high, of course. Then it's going to be this barrier. Aside from that, all this looks compressed. Maybe somewhere in here and this one, and eventually we have all these highs. They've been taken basically, and I could see price eventually filling that zone until there. We may have some orders in here aligned with this left shoulder. Price yesterday did move a little bit down. Yep, and maybe it's already taken. Yeah, maybe, yeah, there you go. This move yesterday during NFP actually took the orders from this level, but this level has been taken. On the 4 hours, I still see a little bit of I still see this level in here as a possible zone that price may react from. It was this level and this one, the extreme. So still a possible scenario of that zone to be reached. However, I can still see price starting to go all the way up from here. So zones to look for. Join the move to the upside. All right, so another point was, for example, for me, how this is compressed now from here and of here. So actually where this high reacted from, it's already within this compression zone. So I'm expecting price to get to the other extreme of the compression and even break it and look for that maybe reaction from this level or somewhere in here. Actually, forget about this level anymore, maybe somewhere in here. Yep, eventually break. and this can be the level that I mentioned before, 124.8, 125. Let's see, there are still a few barriers to break through, but I could see price going all the way there. Maybe this zone can be interesting. Maybe some zone in here. As I was about to mention, this was an important, a really nice price action to enter, just as an example. So as you can see, we do have this spice available in here. Maybe even the white line could be from here. Maybe that's a compression there. You have this beautiful spice. That's exactly where price react from. In here, do we break it? Yep, I do think that this high breaks this one already. So move up, break out. Even if you want, you can wait for it. Confirmation to go to the upside. This is if you're not sure about this one now it's clear. A break to the upside, and there you go, retest, and you are free to go long. You can even place your stop loss kind of below here, or if you want to be aggressive, just here, and you have room to fill, maybe first target. And then if you are aware of the bigger picture, you can still hold it and expect price to go and to fill either this space, or even go higher and fill maybe the next space that's in there that I just mentioned before with 125. So yeah, I was not aware of this PA in here, but it was a really nice opportunity in there to look for the long. Yeah, beautifully. So that's that on pound. Just to be sure, let's take a look at where price is reacting from on the left. See if there's anything more important in there. This is a good zone of, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit further down there's a few more, but where price is now, it can be enough. Yeah, we had this IKM in there as well. Price kind of should have respected it, gone down, it never respected. It's a good zone. Okay, there's maybe a few more zones underneath it, but for now, the way price is reacting from here and the type of PI that it created around this area, it looks good. It can be a good zone to look for the continuation to the upside. Yeah, so that's my take on pound. So what's next? Pound. We go to Aussie. So Aussie again has been ranging a little bit. And Aussie is actually one that in terms of the pairs that I'm still looking for a further move to the downside. So this, as I mentioned, around 0.67, 0.668 can be a good zone. So kind of retesting these previous zones in here. That's something that I'll be looking for on Aussie. So we are creating out these lows, of course. When you see something like this, it kind of starts screaming to be taken in the future. So this most likely is not going to hold before a major fake out. And this is the type of lows that I start to like to see. Maybe eventually when price goes back down, takes it, and there you go. And it's going to happen something like this. And just fake out of these lows one more time, maybe get closer to that 0.67 zone that I mentioned, and price from there is ready to go and move to the upside. Yeah, interesting PA as well during the news yesterday. This is actually a really typical day of an NFP. all these places, all the information. So if you want to study how price moves with the clues and the informations that you can have, this is a really nice exercise on Aussie. For example, actually my game plan yesterday for Aussie during NFP, what did I see, right? I saw this engulf down. So this engulf down, so space to the downside, and my idea, it was, I saw there was this space in here, and we had this this beautiful demand, this supply in there. So there was space, and this is actually the zone that I wanted to look for the sell. But my idea, it was for price to retrace now, slowly retrace, and then maybe during NFP touch there and fill the zone to the downside, right? That was my game plan. That's what I was looking for. However, something different happened, which is price actually came all the way down to my target even before it came and touched the zone that I wanted to look for the entry for the sell, which was in here, right? That zone was only touched, or price just went there. After price made the move down, it filled the target and it came all the way back and it respected this value in here. At this point, I'm no longer interested in selling in here because my target, the space that I saw that was available, it has been hit in here, so I'm no longer interested in selling in there. Even though I can see that price still even respected it, but most likely because price had already reached the target, this zone is going to be just a small reaction, find the next level of structure, and price is free to go to the upside. Aside from that, yep, I do see that this level is reacting from a good zone in here. However, for me, this is not really it was not really the final target. It was nowhere near close to this size. Maybe there's still the chance that price now is going to even continue to the upside. Not sure if this is the final target for these longs. But yeah, but this is just to see. For me, targets are more important than entries. And if I see that my target has been filled, that kind of takes me away, and I'm no longer interested in selling in there. Find those engulfs. Hopefully, the target's going to be free. Wait for that retrace, and you have a trade. If not, there you go. It will still be a valid trade in here. Valid in the sense that at least 2-to-1 easily you would get it, maybe even 3-to-1. But I was not interested in it anymore. Yeah, just the way I look at it. Yep. So Aussie, all these lows, I expect them to be broken. Price is still ranging a little bit, even though moving a little bit to the downside. We may have all this trend line as well going on in here. Maybe this level can be interesting. Maybe if even price goes a little bit higher and it takes out these guys, maybe somewhere in here can be as well a good zone. Let's see, because this is kind of the higher high, the last high that created this kind of warlow. Maybe if you break this guy, maybe there's a chance that you have a deeper trace, being this an engulf already. Maybe we have that final move to downside, and then we have that retrace up. That could be an option. So if you think in terms of compression, maybe this actually can be the last piece of compression in here. So if you think in terms of compression, price going up and down, filling out these spaces, eventually price takes this high that opens the door to kind of fill all this compression, but usually price will not just move something like that. Price can actually retrace still, even make a fake out, and then yes, going to refill it. So maybe that's something that may happen in here on the Aussie. So maybe that's the zone in there. Overall, I'm still expecting further move to the downside. That's my point. And you have all this accumulation of lows, which is kind of interesting. So let's see what's going to happen in there. On Aussie, So next, delete that. Good. Next one, we are going to dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, basically respecting these highs in here, still within this zone in here, this level of structure, supply zone in there. For me, this is kind of an engulf to the downside, which may be now used for. We have literally this demand, which is kind of important. Maybe that's the space that price wants to fill from here. We do created a little bit of a higher high in there, and price after that just moved to the downside. Beautiful zone in here during the NFP, big spike in there. Again, this space between this supply and these highs, it's in there, as you can see. Find that high that starts the compression, that managed to hold price down, and eventually in the future when price retraces back, find that space that is inside here, and you have it. There you go, big spike in there. Even initially make it look like this size is still going to hold price down, just to be faked out, and now price goes all the way down. So nice PA in here, even after these moves as well. So CAD actually has been giving some really nice price action during this week. And yeah, for me this one was an engulf to the downside. From that level, yep, kind of how this is compressed. We do break this level, and there's more room to the downside in here maybe, but in the end, looking for price to refill this zone and maybe even go further down from there. But nice zone in there, and this was a really nice spot to look for a sell. Yep, demand zone in there. Could see price carry on to the downside. Where can we maybe look for opportunities to join the move down? Let's see how market's going to open during during the Asian session on Monday, and maybe eventually going to just carry on moving to the downside. If dollar index is about to carry on as well, doing what I mentioned before, carry on moving to the downside, maybe we're going to see exactly dollar CAD doing the same, moving down. Euro dollar is going to go up, pound dollar is going to go up, and I think that's mostly what I'm expecting to happen during the Monday session, is just price to maybe carry on the same direction that it kind of finished yesterday, right? In this case, CAD going down, euro going up, pound going up, so maybe just carry on into the same direction. That's actually what I'm expecting to eventually fill this place, and until when it gets here, we'll see how price is going to approach it. If it's just kind of a complete move down without any retracements, maybe price should just carry on slowly, or if it starts compressing slowly, it's showing some weakness, maybe that's an indication that maybe this demand zone is going to be respected. However, I think I see this one as an engulf down in the bigger picture, and I could see price going further down. But let's see, because we do broke these highs in here as well. Start having way too many highs aligned in here. Let's see what's going to happen in here on the dollar CAD. Yeah, maybe find some levels in there to look for a continuation to the downside. So there you go. Next we go to dollar yen. So yen pairs. Yen has been doing his own thing, almost separately from the dollar pairs. Basically, we saw the big move to the upside on the dollar index. We saw that dollar CAD went up as well during the beginning of the week, like with this strong move up. We saw that dollar franc Swiss went up as well, but basically yen has just been moving sideways, has been doing his own thing. Euro yen has been going down, following what euro is doing. Pound yen has been going kind of down as well, following what the pound has been doing, and so on. And dollar yen has been in its own world, doing its own thing separately. So yeah, this is a zone that kind of we discussed 2 weeks ago during the live stream. It was actually a nice chat with it was last week. It was last week, right? Yeah, it was during the last live stream. I don't remember your name now, but we did have a good discussion, a good conversation of zones to look at on dollar yen. I think one of them was maybe close by to this zone, and there was maybe some that I mentioned somewhere in here that could be a good zone to look for a sell as well. I was actually expecting eventually for these walls to be broken. Price actually managed to respect this demand zone and stay there forever. I respect it, didn't manage to break it through. So important key level of support in there. Price went up, respected next demand. Next demand in here actually broke these walls, which is a nice indication. Compression, and price respected this guy in here again, right? So this level, a good one. It was actually the only trade I got during NFP. I sold in there because I saw this similar to dollar CAD, that space in there, and even on pound dollar as well. That space with pound dollar was a long. It's all similar scenarios, right? We have this important decision point. Price shoots through, it goes down, and instead of these guys in here going a little bit above and collecting these orders, they never do it. So they leave these orders in here for the future, just like on dollar CAD, just like on pound dollar, as we saw before. So yeah, I had this level in attention. I had like an alert in there, and this one actually I managed to catch it. Again, we have this highs in here to even accumulate more orders in there. We have all this accumulation of highs, breaks the downside, and the PA in there was kind of nice. I opened actually the trade with PA, maybe a little bit similar to the PA that I mentioned on pound dollar. This was my entry. Here I saw this. Okay, I saw price reacting from there. I didn't place any sell limit, so I was not still in the trading here. Price went down, it broke it. We caught this guy, and as soon as we broke this small demand in here, I got short. So I got short somewhere in here, and there you go. Price just went in my favor. Actually, in here there was a nice opportunity to open a new sell after we broke these walls one more time. And this could have been a nice entry. Join the move down. I didn't place the second entry. I just got short in there, and there you go. It was a nice entry. So you don't really need all the time. Sometimes price could just react from there and completely go down, not even spending that much time close to this zone. And maybe in that sense, I wouldn't have managed to got my short in there. But more often than not, price actually will give you the PA on the war time frame after the reaction from the zone that you like to look for that opportunity. Just like in this case, just like on pound dollar as well, it gave you that PA to look for an entry confirmation instead of just placing buy limits and sell limits everywhere. So what's next for pound dollar, for dollar yen? We have this big compression. In reality, price didn't really manage to break this demand, so we are still in this territory. Maybe I want to see if this wall to be broken. We did had this walls being broken, which was nice. This can be a good zone. It could be a good valid target for the longs. So I could actually see price going down and start actually having a big move to the downside from here. Unless maybe price wants to go a little bit above there. Hey Faden, exactly, it was you, man. We did discuss, I forgot about your name, but yeah, we did discuss this this dollar yen last week. Yeah, I don't remember if you discussed a zone a little bit above this level or if it was somewhere in there. Yeah, I don't remember. There's maybe still orders in here, but I do like this level where price is reacting. It reacted from. Let's see. Let's see if we do break this low and if we continue now to the downside. Let's see. Yeah, you are still waiting for 136. 136.81. Yeah, close to this size, right? Exactly. Yeah, I remember it was either somewhere close to this size or not, but after I saw kind of this high being created in here, this level got my attention. This level got my attention because of how this size close by this level. Yeah, let's see. The reality is that I would have preferred to see this guy being broken. I haven't closed my full position. I am still kind of, I just closed my first target on my short. So actually I would like to see actually price going further down, but let's see. Yeah, for now, let's see what's going to happen. Dollar yen has been behaving on his own, doing his own thing. So let's see. So far we haven't broken this demand. So let's see, price slowly is going to carry on going higher, maybe react from here and go down, or if it goes even a little bit above, maybe to that zone that we just mentioned, and goes down. I'm just going to maybe respect this level now and go down from there. Let's see how this looks like. So these guys have been taken by these guys, so I'm not expecting this guy to respect there. There's maybe some orders still within this level that you can see, maybe price still bounce from here, but maybe just a small reaction. If by any chance price breaks this zone, I would maybe expect maybe some reaction, but eventually all this level to be broken. For me, all this is compressed already. Compressed, yeah, this was the last demand zone that was still fresh and price reacted from there. Compressed. There's maybe this demand zone in there. All this is compressed in here, even in here. So let's see. And for me, this is kind of already engulfed to the downside, just similar to euro yen. 1365 for a long. Where is 1365? No, yeah, 135.11. Where is 135.11? Yeah, around this. Yeah, basically what I mentioned. Yeah, around this level. Yeah, this for me is the last. It's kind of the last demand that is still kind of fresh around all these lows. After this, I think price is free to just move to the downside. But let's see. Let's see where it's going to. Yep. But if price actually has a good reaction from here and it just starts going down, I'm not sure if from here we're going to have a big move to the upside, but I could still see some reaction. And the reaction, maybe even we do have all these lows. So this can be, there's maybe some level of structure that we're going to have. Let me just delete some of this stuff. It's too noisy now. Yeah, if price does react from here, we may have all this zone. Price, by any chance, if it breaks down, maybe take it, take now this level in here, go down, maybe bounce a little bit, and yep, something like this could happen. yeah, instead of maybe going all the way down, because I like this level as a target for these buys. So I don't really need to feel the need for price to even go higher if price by any chance starts going down from here. Just my take on these guys in here. Let's see. So if you take a look, this for me is also an engulf down. Actually, pound yen, not pound yen, dollar yen and euro yen, they basically had the same kind of approach to the upside. So what I want to say is the way they moved from here, the way they moved down, the same zone that this low already broke this one in here, and then they carry on going higher. They created a new higher high, they went down, they broke these lows. So for me, this is an engulf down, as I mentioned, and they still managed to make a new higher high, right? Dollar yen is still kind of playing within these highs. It's ranging, not going anywhere so far. But euro yen actually has already filled all this space. Basically, it already filled the space that was created with the break of these lows and the break of this one. And that's a really interesting thing to see. For example, if we see euro yen, this is what I mean, right? Similar move to the upside, as you can see, but we did had break of these guys in here. This for me is an engulf to the downside. How this is compressed, price wants to go further down and fill the next space. Maybe this level could be good zone or somewhere in here, whatever. But in reality, we had already another engulf to the downside in here. For me, this low is already a break of this one. So this is actually an engulf to the downside. And there you go. Euro yen has already made out this move, while dollar yen is still playing within this level, right? Dollar yen is still playing around this. Let's see now. Maybe now the yen pairs that have been going to the downside during this last week, maybe they are going to go higher now, and maybe because of that, maybe dollar yen may go higher as well, unless they carry on being controlled by the other currency. In this case, it would be the euro, maybe the pound, and so on. So let's see. Interesting. I actually had this zone mark from last week. I didn't manage to catch any sell in here, but what a move that would have been. Yeah, basically the only sell that I tried to catch was in here, and I literally missed all this move to the downside. Yeah, so far my next zone, price respected this level on euro yen, kind of retesting out this level. There's maybe something in here that I'll be looking for. That's where I was looking for, kind of even the break of this. Price just respected that level. And there's a chance that eventually price will go even and carry on to downside. Maybe this one can be a good zone to carry on looking for sales. Basically, all this looks compressed to me, and we actually have this break up. This small wick already opened the space to go higher, and maybe the retest of this level can be an interesting zone. We had all this structure in there, so this could be kind of a good target for these for longs, for these guys in here. Maybe retest like from this and just fill this space. That could be an option, or even retest something like this in here, or something in there, or even just retest this in here. But yeah, all this compression and in here can be a good target for these longs, and maybe then a continuation to look for more sells. Yep, that could be a scenario in there. But yeah, overall, actually, it's really interesting. At least something that I pay attention to. Basically, the signs that I already received from both euro yen and dollar yen. Euro yen has completed that move. Dollar yen is still way too far from it. It's still reacting from the highs. right? As you can see, still reacting from there. It didn't even broke these walls, much less filling out this space and getting close by to this level. Maybe in the future, maybe actually when you have that momentum to downside, maybe just start looking for opportunities to join that move, eventually fill out this space until maybe somewhere in here or even further down, maybe even somewhere in here. We'll see. We'll see when that's going to happen. But that could be a game plan. As soon as you have that confirmation of a break of a clear lows, just look for that. However, in the bigger picture, actually, on dollar yen, I still would like to see this guy being taken, actually, and eventually this level, right? I think I've mentioned a few times that 139 is kind of my favorite zone to start looking for the major reversal. So I still have that in mind. You have that in mind in a bigger picture on dollar yen. See when that's going to happen. We'll see. Where is exactly this guy reacting from? Remember now. Yeah, we are still within this zone in here. Even the break of this. Yeah, I kind of still expect a new higher high to break these guys and eventually to get there. I don't know when that's going to happen. No idea. So far we can literally see this compression in here. On the weekly, we had these two kind of dodges. Price moved a little bit up. Yeah, we'll see. Can even fill all this space up until here, and maybe from there we can go higher. So 131.253. Looking at the monthly, 131. Yeah, be here. Let's see. Let's see. But as we mentioned, yeah, this level is kind of the last demand. That is still. I'm actually going to set up an alert in there. The last demand is still fresh, and then of course the other one I already actually have an alert in there to look at it. But let's see how price is going to behave there. So what's next? Dollar franc Swiss maybe. Where is the dollar franc Swiss going? Okay, nice reaction from here. Kind of still would like to see a little bit price going farther down, but it's okay where it's reacting from now. Nice demand zone in there, so kind of okay. Is price going to give a little bit more this level? Is price going to go all the way up? It was a nice reaction from here. Eventually there's a chance that price wants to go a little bit higher. We are still talking about dollar yen, right? Fade and 136. So let me see our plan. New highs 136.80. Yeah, that's basically where we head, down to 133. Something. The new highs. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Could be right. Something. Yeah, breaking something like this. I'm not sure if price by any chance breaks these guys. If not, it's going to go all the way down to maybe this level, 131, and retest that monthly zone that we saw. Maybe retesting these guys. This low in here didn't really retest these guys. Yeah, maybe then carry on. Maybe that's going to happen as well, and eventually, if dollar index is going to that 110 level, even though dollar yen has been kind of the less correlated pair of the dollars with the dollar index. Let's see. Yep, of course. Let's see with the new hikes in the interest rate, what that's going to do on the rest of the currencies. Euro is about to start hiking as well, so it's going to be an interesting dynamic that we'll see on the pairs. And if Bank of Japan carry on not doing anything as well, maybe we're going to see more move to the upside as the other currencies are hiking more and more. This guy's not doing anything. Maybe that will be the scenario. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss. Not so sure. There you go. There was space in here. That's why it's kind of fully bullish, fully bearish. After price react from here, this was kind of first target that we had all this compression. Aside from that, okay, good level in there. We're already creating way too many highs in here. We haven't really broke any low. Again, I had a good conversation with a guy, so maybe he saw this one as a fake out and maybe expecting price to go down from here. Just because we broke all these highs in here into actually an important zone, so the fake out was nice. However, I told him, as I mentioned, I like to wait for actually price to show me the indication that it wants to go further down. There is no break of lows in here. Price literally respected these lows, so there is no space that was open for price to maybe fill and go here. Since this never happened, it's kind of useless to then look for sales in here. So wait for that low to be broken, and then yes, maybe there was a retest, and this could be an opportunity. This low was never broken, so there's no need to carry on looking for sales. You may want to look for that sell of this fake out immediately as being done, with your target being somewhere close to these lows. After that, target is reached, and as long as it respects its level, just avoid any sales in there. Yeah, the probability of price reversing from there is not there. So what's next? Of course, we had this big move to the downside. This price wants to come out the back, retest its level and carry on down. Does he really want to do all that? Maybe. This was a good zone to look for the sell, and it happened. Maybe, of course, eventually price may go a little bit above to 101.6. However, at the same point, this was kind of my best zone to look for a long. But this demand is also important. This demand was just created after the break of this high, so it was kind of important in there actually. Yeah, not really a buy zone for now on dollar franc Swiss. We have this compression. I want to see this low being broken. Not sure what the hell is going on in there. Who knows? Predictions are always dangerous, Philip. Yeah, but it's important to make the predictions, right? And then just adjust whatever price is doing. That's why it's we don't have to be 100% fixed on our bias. It's good to adjust to whatever new information price is giving us. At least that's how I try to do it. Yeah. On EURUSD, for example, I was indeed stuck with the prediction of seeing those lows being broken, just because our index had already broken those highs, and because of that, I actually missed one or two good long entries even before the lows were broken. But it is what it is. Yeah, but sometimes, for example, I may even just have a mark a zone that's maybe low probability of a zone for price to react from. However, if I start seeing the approach, sometimes the approach for me is super important. Maybe even more important than the zone itself. Because, for example, imagine that I like this supply zone, and if all of a sudden price just goes kind of straight there like this, most likely I'm not going to be even looking for the sell in there. because if I see it moving, that's in a strong move there, most likely just a small reaction, price will carry on. However, if by any chance price starts showing that weakness, right, creating those highs close by, even breaking lows before even get there, this just creates a completely new scenario for me. I prefer much more an approach like this than just a approach in a straight move to the upside. Yeah, honestly, dollar franc Swiss, no idea. If let's see price gets close to this level, we do have these lows. I do have something in here. Let's just take a look at whatever I have in there. It hasn't been a pair that I've been looking that much in this past couple of weeks. I did pay attention when this happened in there. I even tried to, because I was aware that price may want to go further down, further below, and break those lows. Aside from that, not much. Yeah, maybe is there something in here? I don't know. This is a nice supply zone. This has been touched. No, maybe this can be interesting. Oh, this is where price actually reacted from now. This is where price reacted already. Okay. Yep. I have no clue. Let's see when price breaks these walls. Yeah, I'll keep following price eventually if it gets here. Let's see if it gets here. Let's see. I can't even set up an alert in there. I have no clue what to look for in here on dollar index and dollar franc Swiss at this point. It's not going to be a pair that I'll be paying attention that much this week either. Some that I'm actually going to pay attention to, if by any chance I'm expecting euro to gain some strength to the upside, and as you can see, euro dollar and euro Aussie, actually even euro yen, they've been basically following the euro and moving completely to the downside, and this could be a good zone to start looking for long. We had all this spice in here with all these lows. This is kind of still a fresh demand in there. There's some reaction. Not a big fan of how price has been reacting so far. Way too many touches. I prefer something cleaner. Aside from that, we have this one underneath it, and this may be my favorite somewhere in here. This one may be my favorite zone eventually for the euro pound. However, this may be way too far down. And if by any chance, yeah, that could happen, because if by the chance that pound dollar may wants to start going higher, which is, as I covered, that could be an option from where price is. Maybe euro pound can actually still carry on going lower and eventually fill this zone. But I do like this level. I had an eye on this one, and my favorite eventually could be this level in here to go higher. This was actually a really nice PI, how this approach to there, breaking lows, opening spices. This was a natural formation of lows quite nicely, then price just completely smashes through all this compression zone. But yeah, something that I'll be paying attention to is these euro pairs. Euros is similarly this level in here, nice zone that was still fresh. Price already bounced from there 2 times. Reacted straight away from there. However, as we are doing this, I no longer like this double bottom, so even if you have a fake out in there, that can be an option. And another zone, it could be similar to euro pound, it could be maybe even this one. This one in here could be a good zone for euro Aussie to react from. Somewhere in here, just even fake out its lows and go there. However, there's still a chance for price to do something like this and maybe go higher. Let's see. This for me was an engulf up and basically just retested this structure. let's just see your levels. But then thank you, first of all, thank you for being part of it. I really had fun last week, and I'm glad that you are here again. Instead of being a monologue, at least you can have some conversation. So which level are you talking? A310. A310. Jesus, where is A310? Oh, A3. Is it somewhere in here? Okay, is it this one? A3. And there you go. All right, yeah, it's close by. Yep, this one. Yeah, it's close by that. The same level, and old 82. That's way below. 8245. 8245. Okay, it's even below this low. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if price even goes that far down. I do like, for me, for example, this is an engulf up. I don't know if you realize, but we do broke that high. So this is actually an open to the expecting price to go higher in the future. However, maybe we do have kind of all this compression. Maybe this is still part of it. So maybe any move to the upside can be just a retest, find next level of structure and go down. We did have already this deeper trace in here, so kind of maybe there's no need for it. The engulf up, as you can see, is kind of the break of this. This is actually, if you could just find these strong compressions, as soon as you have that strong compression and you see kind of the break to the upside, there you go. That could be kind of a great zone. So for example, this long in here, we actually broke something in there. This could be a massive trade, just expecting to fill out this compression. Maybe even just come all the way here, because this is a nice supply in there. Actually didn't work immediately, but actually it's exactly where price reacted in there. But this for me is an engulf up, expecting price to go higher. Nevertheless, this is actually an engulf down in the much bigger picture. So yeah, this indeed actually is even a major engulf down in the bigger picture. Actually, this is one of the zones in here. Which one is this one? 1, 3. This one is a nice monthly candle. That maybe price is going to go higher. Retest this level, maybe. Yeah, but overall, this is actually an engulf to downside. So if you take a look at the monthly, price basically just came from these highs, and we definitely have all this space to fulfill, right? But this is the bigger picture. I could see price getting and filling out this space until 0.08. Let's just call it 0.8, right? This is the bigger picture, and actually something that you usually see is after price, yeah, just take this compression, and maybe there's actually the potential to carry on down. However, with this engulf up, if you may find the next level of structure to then maybe look for that major move to the downside. So let's see. Just a conflict between the higher time frame and the lower time frame, right? PVP strength. Let me see. Do you mean for the pound dollar, or for euro pound on this on the strength? Yeah, GBP. Yeah, pound strength, right? Maybe further move to the downside on euro pound and move to the upside on pound dollar. But yeah, let's see. But finding these compressions actually just regardless of wherever we are, this compression is basically the same that we just looked at the dollar franc Swiss, right? It's exactly this kind of compression in here. If you find these ones, regardless of the scale of the time frame, just find this compression, look for that break that actually shows the that price is changing direction. And there you go. And you have a beautiful trade. You have a specific target to look for, and you have a great opportunity. And usually, because our price has been compressed on the way down, there's the chance that price will just fill out this space way faster, because there is no more orders in here to actually hold price down. So just find those compressions in there. This is actually absolutely beautiful. This is a completely different scale. This is a daily time frame. Looks a few months and not just a few days, but it's kind of the same concept. In there. So, yep. What's next? Yeah, Euro Pound. These key levels can be. Let's see. First of all, how price is going to behave from there. I would have liked to see a little bit more of a momentum. It's already a few spikes in here. So kind of a few spikes without managing to break even this high in here. So not the best scenario. I would like to see a little bit of more momentum to the upside. Didn't even manage to break those highs. So maybe this level is not as strong. And price, of course I can see this move down. So maybe price actually wants to go there. Yeah, and eventually this one is basically similar to the one that we just mentioned, both of us. Is 832, and yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there on Euro Pound. We're still talking about Euro Pound. I assigned strain to range extreme 872. Where is 872? Yeah, 872 is this high, right? Where we were. Yeah, 872 is where we were to 82. It's a different time frame. Yeah, retraced and higher high, right? Yeah. Even paying attention to these walls in here as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's interesting. Yep. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. But for me, yeah, higher time frame, monthly scale. For me, price will eventually go down and most likely even fill this space in here. However, we can maybe just retrace first, because this maybe an engulf up already, as I mentioned. Let's see. Or even just retest, still stay within this level and go down. Yep, let's see. It's going to be interesting, and it's good to be aware of this major engulf to the downside and the space that is still available. Yep. But aside from that, even now this compression down, this is kind of terrible. It's just compressed there. Don't even like anything in there. So yeah, let's see. Don't even know. Covered almost all of them, and maybe just going to finish with crypto now. Any other pair, Ferdinand, that you want me to kind of take a look at? I don't know if you are here from the beginning. I've covered almost all of them. I think I'll just finish with crypto. I'm going to follow up on these guys. So I'm going to try to make a compilation of all my analysis on crypto, because actually I think that would be a good video. Thank you, man. Do you also pay attention to crypto as well? Do you pay attention to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other coins, or is this mostly Forex that you pay attention to? It's part of it, and for being here. It's better to have a conversation, to discuss some levels, and just to talk about. Hey, Savannah. Okay, I'll take a look at Solana. Yeah, crypto, right? So Bitcoin. Yep. So last week, basically, I had a full video trying to understand again, was this an engulf or not? Was expecting price to go higher or not, right? So basically, I talked about targets, and I mentioned, yep, maybe from these guys, from these lows, the target was this highs, and on BTC we never reached there. We actually had this small engulf up, showing that price want to go higher. That's why I was kind of still looking for lows from here, from whatever price was doing in here. I was still expecting price to go higher, and there you go. Price just spiked there literally, and it reached the final target. From here, I want to see what price is going to do next, right? Is it going to break it? Is it going to break this this target? If it breaks it, I can see more move to the upside. I can see kind of space being open, and price may go to where to, right? Where is the next level? Is it going to retest this kind of 27 or 30k level? Maybe that's an option. Maybe similar to the indices, we may have some ranging markets now during the summer, until maybe in September we are going to resume maybe the move to downside. Overall, bigger term, I'm not looking for 7.5, Jesus. 7k. I'll be happy with the 13k and then to the 9k. Where is 7k, man? I haven't even looked at 7k yet. What are you talking about, man? 7k, 7. Oh, in here. That's a nice zone. Jesus, man. Do you want everyone to freak out? In here. But even above a little bit, like somewhere in here. Jesus. Yeah, I'm happy with this zone first, and I actually like this 9k level as well. You went even farther down. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Right. You are the first one looking at 7k. Yeah, indeed, everything can happen. And I expect kind of, after summer, I think I expect the resume to the bearish market across the markets. But let's see. However, a lower time frame for the next few weeks, the same way that I was expecting this move high. If you do break this target, I can see price going a little bit higher. And even if price gets closer to this 30k level again, I could easily see I'm still not bullish in a higher time frame. I'm still bearish. And even if you just look at the technicals, after a move like this, we had kind of this support zone in here quite a few times. There will be no one will be surprised if we have something like this to happen, right? This is kind of an example on every textbook of technical analysis. We have support, it's broken, price goes up, and it works as a resistance, right? So that could be easily one scenario. We are with this daily level, which was my target. If you break it, there's more room to the upside. So far, we do have this demand in there. This level can be interesting to look for. Maybe it's a continuation to go higher. However, we haven't really broken the high yet. So till we actually break that high, just be cautious. Kind of the target is reached. Now price needs to make a decision what it's going to do. On Ethereum, it was a different story. As I mentioned, we did broke that high. We had that engulf a little bit up already, so maybe this engulf up actually opens the door for price to go further up, which most likely Ethereum and Bitcoin, they are so correlated that it's going to be an indication that most likely even Bitcoin actually is going to go higher. However, Bitcoin still needs to break that high. So yeah, so using it's just interesting because Bitcoin was kind of didn't really reach its final target for the longs. Bitcoin, Ethereum had actually broken that target for the longs and open space even for a further move to the upside. And if you see something like that, that's a really great indication to then maybe look for those longs after the deeper trace, right? So far, Ethereum, we're testing these guys. If we do break it, we may enter within this compression zone, and maybe price wants to go further down. There's maybe this demand. And on Ethereum, one thing that I want to mention is, yep, price did indeed reacted from this level. But I could still see more zones inside here that price didn't really reacted to. So I could still see some zones in there. While on Bitcoin, actually price reacted from the demand zone that it actually makes sense where it reacted to. So yeah, Bitcoin actually reacted from this demand. I actually have a full video explaining as well the different zones where Bitcoin and the Ethereum, how did they behave around these lows. So let's see. Honestly, it's going to be just waiting to see if price reacts from there. This is a good zone. Maybe it's a continuation. And yeah, let's see. It's actually, maybe it was a good zone to even look for sale after the break of this low. It's actually a good zone to look for that sell in there. Literally just broke this low. We have this supply zone. And this is a good zone. And this demand maybe still not reached yet. And this is the one that I've been talking. So let's see. You want to take a look at Solana? Seb, so Solana, what we have in here. Similar to the other two guys. Crypto to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I do like where this low now is reacting to on Solana. So, okay, we did react from this demand zone. Eventually, I could see maybe when Bitcoin and so on is going to break these lows where we are now. Maybe Solana is going to follow through and get the orders from now this triple bottom. However, in the medium term, similar question, which is this guy an engulf to the upside? Did we enter into this compression? Yes or not, right? If we did, expecting price to go further up. We may have this trend line in here, it's okay. But if you did break this level, I could see price going further up and maybe filling out this compression. We had this space in here, kind of this demand. It's okay, exactly where price reacted to perfectly. So okay, this was a good zone to look for longs. But again, the question is this high an engulf to the upside? Yes or no? So that's the question. If you take a look at the daily, it can be, it may be an engulf to the upside. We may have broken that compression on the weekly. Didn't really broke that candle on the weekly, but the beginning of the compression may be this guy in here now, in here, and you may have broken that. So if you did broke that, leaving the rest of the compression could be an option. Coming all the way until here, maybe 58, and maybe react from the 60 and go down. Let's see. Of course, for now, we definitely still have to break these highs as a confirmation, and maybe after that you can maybe look for a continuation in there. But yeah, this one, did it break in compression? Yes or no? This was a nice zone to look for the long because that demand was still fresh. And I do like now where this low is reacting to from here on the left side, which is important as well. For example, this part in here, if you were looking for longs anywhere within this high, this low, literally it was not the best zone to look for it because we had literally all this compression, and this low was in the middle of the compression, so it's not the best zone to look for longs. Just wait for price actually to fill the rest of the space in there, and you can look for that opportunity. So So yeah, of course, maybe eventually retesting this 78 could be an option. I don't know if that's going to happen in the near future. Let's see. First, we need to break this high again of the 42 level. Let's see. Solana hasn't really gained that momentum comparing with BTC and Ethereum. But let's see. If Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to continue to the upside, there's a chance that Solana is going to follow through, and maybe it's going to fill all this space. That's where I'll be aiming to. Yep. That's 41k. 41k to test 41k. 41k is the highs, right? Yeah, I could see price retesting this highs. I could see. I don't know if it is from here, but I could see. If I was able to tell you where would be my target for this within this level. Inside here. Yes. Somewhere in here it will be as a target. I'll be more than happy. We have. Yeah, this is kind of the last one. The last one before the move down. This guy didn't really got there. This in here could be a nice zone. We do have these walls a little bit underneath it, so be careful. But around here, on the 1 hour time frame, it could be maybe a good zone to look for. Around 40 something. This level. But eventually, if price is actually, if these highs actually are running off to the upside, maybe price is going to even go higher. However, from where, in reality, if you just now start following price, we actually just broke this low, kind of enter into this level. So this can be actually an indication that price maybe wants to go further down. Price still can fake out this guy. We did. Yep, just took this guy in there. Did you react from here? Sure. Yep, this could be an option for now. Even retest that trend line. And this is the next demand. Yeah, be careful with this guy. This guy already engulfed into this compression. So this is what you start paying attention to. Just follow those guys. The same way that this high in here had broken into this compression after the break of this high. Kind of opens the door that price wants to go higher. Just the same thing that Ethereum did. That's what you want to pay attention to. Just be careful. If you see kind of important demand zones being broken, you have all this compression. This may be an indication the price wants to go further down. Hi Trading Box, welcome. Welcome, man. Yeah, I'm just almost finishing. Going to be 2 hours now. Yeah, there you go. 2 hours of stream. Yeah, I'm starving already. I need to look for it's lunchtime. But yeah, Solana could be an option. This in the longer term, I could see price maybe going a little bit higher, because if this actually is an engulf up. But for now, for the lower time frame, be careful where the breaks of the highs or lows happen, and this could happen as well. So let's see. Yep. Let's see. Because Ethereum just respected that high. Nice. Thank you, man. Yep, guys. I think that's it. I think I've covered almost all of it. Yeah, there's been a long stream. Thank you for joining, and thank you for for commenting as well, to have a conversation with me. That's the point. Again, thank you, Faden, Seb, and Trading Box, and Daniel as well. Actually, Daniel gave me a donation, so thank you for that, mate. Thank you very much. If you want to support the channel, you can as well. You can just go in the description. I think there's a link in there where you can donate just to help the channel to keep growing. I would appreciate it. If you get value from it, it's great. Otherwise, it's okay. And yeah, next Tuesday it's going to be another, not Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday. It's going to be another live stream. That one is going to be more educational content. So if you have any charts that you'd like me to look at, feel free to share with me, and I'll take a look at them. I think someone asked me to do a top-down analysis, so I think I may just do that. If you want me to, you can choose a pair that you want me to do that, and I'll just go for it from the monthly, daily, 4-hour, and maybe find opportunities on over time frame. That's it. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do it, and thank you so much. And I wish everyone a great weekend. See you next time, guys. Obrigado.